I'm Jonathan Eaker. I'm a reference librarian in the Prints and Photographs Division of the Library of Congress. It's one thing to read about what happened during the war, but I always think it's much more interesting, to see the actual soldiers, to see the actual equipment. The thing about World War I is that, it was often dirty, it was often, not pretty. You were in the mud, you were in shell holes. So this photo here is titled Over the Top. It's a stereograph and it shows American soldiers in a trench. Actually, this photo is not of a real combat situation. I'm pretty sure it's a training trench. The big giveaway is that the photographer is up above the trench. He would have hardly been shot if he was standing that high up. Another giveaway is the trench is much nicer than real trenches usually were, and here where you can see the gas going off, it looks like it's probably just a smoke bomb. It was very hard to take photos in actual combat, so it was pretty common to take training photos and pass them off as real photos, but it still shows what they looked like, what they were doing. Often our photos don't have much in the way of captions or descriptions, or they're very minimal, so we have to look at the photos, try to figure out what's in them, try to figure out who the people are, where it is. So this photo here shows a Curtiss JN-4H Jenny, a type of airplane that was used by the U.S. Army during World War I. This photo is significant because during the war, aerial combat and aerial surveillance was very key. Early on in the war, planes were just used to fly over the enemy, look and see what was there. As the war progressed, they attached guns, bombs. We have hundreds of thousands of photos related to World War I, both combat, home front. This is a group of African-American troops marching in northwest of Verdun, which was one of the big battlefields in Europe. This may be the 92nd Division, I'm not sure, but it would be the right time and place. Contributions of African-American soldiers were often overlooked. Many of the soldiers in the Army served in support positions like road crews, unloading ships, but there were quite a few who were in combat positions. As you can see, these guys here have their rifles, their helmets, their gas masks around their necks. By the date we have on the photo, they're probably going to battle pretty soon. We have a large collection of World War I photos, many of which have been digitized. They can be accessed at loc.gov. Our World War I photos, I think, just show a very important time, not just in the US, but in the entire world. There's a connection there that you can't get just reading it. You can actually see the person and get an understanding of what they're going through.